Hello, welcome to my very sunlit room. Every time, these windows. But yeah, technically it's only the 1st. And I'm not starting this book until Saturday, the 6th. Right? I think it's the 6th. Good news is my mom actually is working this weekend. We're back on track for like doing them when my mother works, okay? Doing these weekend reading vlogs where I pull the book from the TBR jar. That's why I'm recording the intro now, because I want to figure out what the book is now. I mean, I don't think there's anything in here particular that if I pull it out, I will not read. Unless if it's one that I've already read. Or two, the Melanie Cellier, is that what it's called? Four Kingdom series, because I just read the first one last month for the weekend reading vlog. So yeah, while I'm here and pulling the thing out, I'm gonna put it down here so you don't have to hear it too loud. I am going to tell you that up above in the cards is the playlist for the weekend reading vlog, so go check them out. I may make a separate one, kind of like a season 2 of just the TBR jar ones. So let me know your thoughts on that. But let me pull out one of these sticky notes. Okay, I'm just gonna put it over here for now. Okay, what we got today. Actually, let me go check something, because I may have accidentally planned the second book in Dyer for a different vlog. But it's happened. I'm gonna, if this isn't actually planned for another vlog where I just read middle books in series, blah blah blah, future thing, you don't have to worry about it. If I do end up reading this for this, I can't wait till I call you with this information. Oh my god. Imagine if I didn't tell you. No, you check my Goodreads. You know. I'm just gonna leave this here. I'm gonna go see if that book is part of that vlog. How did I get my glasses dirty? Good damn. But yes, this is where this is going. I pulled, if you can't tell, I pulled Mara Dyer, which is one of the 5 books I believe that H put in here, which is the second one of all the ones in here. There's only 5 in here that H put in here, and this is the second one I've pulled. Because Twilight Eclipse, technically Eclipse, was an H one. It's my birthday. Why am I pulling H books? Okay, that's what I was scared of. I could totally change out what book that it was, but no, I'm sorry, H. Mara Dyer was already planned. For August. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this up here and save it here. So that after August, when I do read it for that vlog, I can put it back in to read the 3rd book, right? I'm sorry, H. Okay, new one. Don't think this is one I've pulled before. Okay, H, it's fine. I got the EOS key. Why am I putting them on my forehead? This is why I have acne. I pulled the EOS key. I'm very excited. I own it. I bought it on my Kindle. I think for like $3 or something forever ago, because I keep on hearing great things about it. I also heard like the audiobook has like 12 narrators. It's like a full cast audiobook, and it's like independent. I think it's self-published. It may be independently published, but she paid the narrators herself. I know this. DM Larry is the author. I follow her on Instagram. She was recently uploading fan art that she got commissioned for the books up on her Instagram. And from the look, maybe I'll put it up on screen, that fan art, it was giving me throuple vibes, and I'm in my throuple era right now. So I low-key really wanted this one or the Twilight one because I need to cut the new series. Yes, this is technically a new series, but in my face, the second one isn't out yet. I don't think so. He's fine. But yeah, I'm very excited. I think there might be vampires. I'm not sure. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let's go. But yeah, Bioski. That's what we're going with today. Well, this weekend. Hello and welcome to the last time I'll film in this corner for a while, because the sister comes home, I think today. But yeah, this is gonna be one of those weekend reading vlogs where I read or include the Monday in it, because usually I film them on weekends when my mom's working. And she also works Mondays those weekends, right? Like the weeks that she works weekends, she also works Mondays. But this is because it is currently Sunday, and I just started video ski. I did not start yesterday. I planned to get like 100 pages in yesterday, before I went to bed, like went to sleep to bed. But I went to bed at 9 and started watching ASMR videos, and I was like, at 10 o'clock I'll stop and I'll read the book for the rest of the night, as I do. But then I fell asleep at like 9:30. So that didn't happen. I didn't start until today. Out in the sun. That's why my sunglasses here. But yeah, I was reading Out in the Sun, and I got, I think, 63 pages in, so I can tell you a little bit about what's happening. I don't know how to pronounce her name, the main character. It's Aaliyah, I think, Alia. Listen, I should listen to like just like one of those samples of the audiobook so I can figure it out. But she is 21 when the book starts. It's like her 21st birthday around the time that the book starts. She works at was known as the Winter Hotel. There's like a hotel, restaurant, and bar connected trio thing, and I think she works at the restaurant at the current time, but she may start working at the bar soon or something like that. And when she was a kid, or when she was, I think she was a teenager, her parents died, and when she was a kid, she witnessed them almost die to this weird shadow monster, right? But a bunch of doctors say that it's just a side effect of her PTSD and her anxiety and her depression, right? And then because of it, she tried to kill herself. So the book starts with her, after the prologue, being at basically this, I think, twice a month meeting thing, for people who attempt suicide, to meet up and like talk. And her friend like takes her there every time and all this fun stuff. And while there, she sees a guy, like after when she's like getting coffee, she sees a guy who's like rude to her and whatnot, but she just ignores it and goes on with her life. She has an ex who cheated on her and seems to be slightly abusive, at least because he tries to show up at her work while she's like taking out the trash after closing, and he's like being physical with her slightly. And then one of the bouncers from the club that's like right across the alley, right, comes out and like fights him to get him out of there. And then her friends take her out to a party, or to the club to go partying for her 21st birthday, and like there's a hint that she sees like death a lot in like visions, and she doesn't know, like she sees one at the party or at the club, and she doesn't know if it's from the alcohol or if it's from like one of her visions. And according to all the doctors that her godfather paid for, like I think he's a godfather or uncle or something like that, like it's a symptom of her PTSD and all that fun stuff. And if she took medication, it would help, but she doesn't really want to. So she tries her hardest without it and whatnot. And her friend helps her out, who's also her roommate and whatnot. While at the club, a guy across the bar sees the balloons that her friends brought her, with like 21, so showing that's her birthday. And he orders them a bunch of champagne, and then he goes to leave, and then shortly after that, like she notices that he was watching her, and then she eventually leaves. I mean, she's walking home and she sees this guy about to jump off the bridge, and so she goes to stop him and recognizes him as both the guy who was being rude to her at the meeting, but also the same guy at the bar who got them champagne. And then like they both go over, and then he saves her life to get her out. But also at the same time, we're also getting his POV, and he's Eric. I assume the love interest. It's been hinted at that there's like her who works at this chain that his family runs. It's like the Winter Hotel and whatnot, and his family is the Winters, right? Like the hotel is solely run by his sister Anna, who is really mean to him for no reason, and whatnot. But he like follows her or something like that. It's hinted at that kind of early on, and they like try to make it so he doesn't go there on days that she works and whatnot. But there's like some meeting with some coven people, because like they're vampires and they're also wards, and wards are supposed to not have any familiar attachment to like anyone other than other wards, and their jobs are basically to relay information from the people on the ground to the higher ups leaders, who are the heads of each of the factions, like the vampires, the werewolves, the witches, and I don't know what the fourth one is. But he goes to the club afterwards, she's there, all that stuff. And then he goes to jump off the building, and then she goes to stop him and then goes down with him. He takes some of her blood to make it so he has the strength to get out of the vines, because he is trying to die. And like, he's very clearly depressed and whatnot. And when he drinks her blood, he recognizes that she has a lot of power, and then he gives her some of his blood so that she can heal from all of this, because like cracked ribs from him trying to do CPR, she crushed her hand in all of this, right? And then tries to compel her to like forget him and all this stuff. She does not forget, like she still remembers all of this, right? But she doesn't know if it's like a dream or if it's actually real. There's some like weird signs, like he stole her bag and her clothes, and so like she notices that her bag and clothes aren't where she would normally put them. That she has twigs and dirt and stuff in her hair when she goes to take a shower the next morning, like stuff like that. But he apparently like has been following her, and her scent really affects him. And then he drank blood, and then they go to tell the head people of the magic world about all this stuff, because there was some meeting the night before, and apparently there's a group of rogue werewolves who are attacking basically anyone in the area. And they're demons was the last one, baby, because demons are mentioned in that. But they're also talking about going up against the main four. So that's like a whole thing, and the coven is like, or higher ups really don't like Eric, because he is depressed after they killed a bunch of people he loved, but also they killed one of his siblings, so he only has 2 siblings left, and they all are fighting all the time, and all this stuff. And Aaliyah makes him feel alive again. And I think that's all that's happened so far. But he thinks that she is a witch, and that she may have power, like higher ups, I think they're called the common, I don't know, level of power. So he's like, weird, I wonder what kind of witch she is, and really like wants to be with her. He's currently just recognizing that she got off work, so he's like gonna go watch her walk home or something. I think she walks the same path home every night, which is how he knew how to take her home after she passed out after the whole jumping off a bridge thing. And all that fun stuff. Now, my theory is that, one, she is a witch, but like her family was murdered by possibly a demon, the shadow monster thing, and whatnot, because like there was a thing with like her dad doing some spell or something at one point when they were attacked when she was really young and whatnot. And so like they were actually killed. She is actually like an heir of some kind to this higher ups people, but also her like magical ability has to do with seeing death some way. That's what I'm assuming. And yeah, that's it so far. I mean, I've talked like nearly 9 minutes about this book that I'm only not even 70 pages in, so I'll probably go back outside and read more. But yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to update you, so I thought I'd update you now when no one's home briefly. So I'll update you either when I reach halfway or when I finish. I don't know which one. Either one of those will be tomorrow morning, probably, I'm guessing. I feel like the lighting in this corner never looks good, but we're back here again. It is Monday afternoon. And I am just under a third of the way through the book. I got to page 60. Like, literally when I updated you yesterday, I didn't read any more after that. I meant to, but then I didn't, which means I gotta try to finish it today, and there's like 6 hours left. Anyways, I got tiny nail scissors, because before I talk about book, my birthday book came from Book of the Month. I can not show you one on the sides because you can't tell, the label got all fudged up on the front, so they had to rewrite it on the sides, and then I crossed out afterwards. But yes, book. There's technically 2 in here. because May's my birthday month, so I get a free one. Because the nail scissors are very good for cutting this side of the tape when when I rip off the top. Anyways, apparently they've reached 100 months of book of the month being a thing. Did not know that, but there's a bookmark about it because of course I need more bookmarks. I know the books I got. Why were they put in upside down? Why? Who did it? It's fine. You can see that side. But the one that I got that was an add-on for free for my birthday, very small. It's one that I've already read. It's My Body by Emily Reddit. I can't pronounce her last name. Who was a model. And it's a group of essays about generally men, but also society's views on her body as someone who made her living for a good chunk of years off of her looks, and how sometimes people view her body as not her own. I listened to the audiobook last year, I want to say like November time. I cried. I loved it so much, and then I contemplated buying it so many times because I wanted to just annotate it so bad. And I do really recommend the audiobook if you're going to read it because she reads it herself and all that stuff. But I figured since I really wanted to annotate it, I'd buy a physical copy. It's like really short, like really damn short. And the text size is pretty big. But yeah, so for my add-on, because I didn't know what else to get, there's like not much there that I want that I haven't already bought type thing. So I got this as the add-on. It made sense. And then the May book that I got was Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I know nothing about this. I just knew who the author was, and I didn't even know that it was a sequel to a different Abby Jimenez I got last year. I really hope I'm pronouncing the last name right. This is the one from last year. First book in the series. I thought that maybe it came out May last year because I low-key remembered getting it when I for my birthday month when I got the XX was the add-on, right? I pointed here because the all piles here and it's on that pile. That I have not read yet. But then I looked at the back and yeah, it's the May book. So, you know, that's fine. I didn't realize they were the same series. Whoops. I don't even know what this one's about. It's the only one that like intrigued me kind of. Like the other ones intrigued me a little bit, but I have had bad luck for every genre, basically. But like the genre I have the most luck with is romance. So when I don't know what to get, I just get the romance. Though I rarely get book of the month nowadays. I only got it this month because my birthday. Okay, so I glimpsed at this almost for the first time ever. I love how I bought it before I looked at this synopsis. Where basically, they're both doctors. She's going through a divorce right now, and then her brother needs, new kidney, and he's running out of time. And then, there's this promotion she was up for, but this, like, new male doctor, basically is getting it, and there was something about really bad first impressions, and so he kind of feels bad and sends her a letter, and it's actually really nice and sweet, to, like, explain things, and then, they start writing letters back and forth, and then he gets her brother a kidney, and a bunch of other stuff happens, including tiny horses. Also, I just realized both of them have animals on the cover. This one has a goat, and this one has a doggy. You know, that's cool. No shame I already did the monochromatic vlogs, like, honestly. But yeah, I own both of these now. I don't think I've even read anything by the author, but, you know, that's fine. Should I actually talk about the book I'm reading for this? Yes. I am going to finish it today, I swear to God. But basically, right now, they are having their first real conversation, Aaliyah and Eric. Eric really clearly has a thing for her, and kind of likes how she's different from everyone else he's ever met in the magical world. He did just let it slip that she's a witch that she did not know about, so she's kind of the low-key freaking out. And she kind of has a thing for him, but she's also like, but like also he's a vampire and all this crazy stuff. So also her ex, kind of worst, not mad he's dead. But yeah, no, it's a good time. I have a little bit of issues with character reactions to things, or how characters do things, which I think is just like a debut author type thing, because a lot of debut books I noticed that issue with. So like it is whatever, it's like not impeding my love for it or anything. It's a pretty good book, I'm liking it so far. Sasha can fight me, the friend who like is noticing that clearly Leah's having a panic attack or a breakdown when he ambushes her at work, and clearly does not want to like hang out with this man shortly after she learns that he's a vampire, but then she forces her to go on a date with him. And then I called up, or a voice message, and I was like, what would you do if we were in this situation? She's like, clearly I tell the guy who was stalking you, because he's clearly stalking her, to leave you the fuck alone. I was like, cool, so I'm not crazy in this. Cool. So, you know, it's a little weird, in that way. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I don't know what else to say. There has been hints at stuff with Lucian, Eric's older brother, and something to do with Aaliyah's mom and how he had a thing with her. I don't think he's her dad, but I do think he was the guy who raised her as her father. And like the prologue vision thing, also the visions that she's been having of what I assumed was death, it may just be future vision things, and it may not just be death, but like death has a prominent theme throughout them occasionally. Like usually they have to do with death. But yeah, no, like at one point, like we had a scene where their three siblings, Winter siblings, are like having a meeting with the council people, right? And then the next chapter is her like having a vision of them having a meeting that they're not liking. And it's supposed to be taking time, like at around the same time. So that was fun. It's been mentioned that she is the Eos key, which means that, like, Eric doesn't know that she's the Eos key, but Lucian does, by knowing her mother. And that's why he, like, was making sure that she was hidden by the magic world. And if the council gets a hold of the Eos key, then they can get even more power by using her blood. And then they become super powerful and can, like, kill all the Winters and all this stuff. So he's making Anna, the sister, basically, I really hate Anna's character too, to like break them up so that like he doesn't like fall with her. There's also like something to do with like a prophecy, maybe, I don't know. I'm intrigued by the background stuff, like all the lore and background stuff. I'm really intrigued by. Also, despite the fact that so far I'm pretty sure it's like a fantasy romance, their connection does make 100% sense. Like, I get why he's into her because of, like, the weird suspicious stuff with her magic and stuff like that. But also, they both are very depressed, lonely people. And the way that he, like, no one in his family understands him, neither one of his siblings do, especially not Anna. And, like, he's never able to have, like, a connection with anyone else, for fear of, like, death. Or them dying or something like that, means he's really lonely and no one understands him and all this fun stuff. But then Aaliyah comes out here and like understands him fully, and he's just like, I love you. I would not be surprised if this man would start simping hard over her after the scene I just read where she understands his want to stop living by any means necessary, and whatnot. Because she's been there herself, and you know, it's sweet. Okay. I just realized the spines of these kind of match. I mean, this is more orange and red, but anyways, that's it. I'm gonna go finish this book now in like 6.5 hours. I why am I like this? It's gonna be like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock when I finish it, so I won't update you until tomorrow morning. Most definitely. Maybe later. Who knows? But I'll leave my final thoughts one way or another. Okay, the Yoski did finish it late last night. Thanks to audiobook, which I learned was on Scribd when I was around halfway through. Love that. But yeah, I agree with what I've heard. The audiobook, the way to go. Loved it. Listen, do it just for the narrator who does Roman's character. I recognize that he's the head of 2 chapters only, which means you only get to hear it twice because it's like a full cast audiobook. But I was like half asleep. I don't want to say half asleep, but I was kind of tired. It's like 11 p.m. and then this man's voice came on, and I don't know if it was the voice actor did or if it was just his natural voice. I don't know. I was thriving. Okay. But yeah, the Yoski. I had a bit of trouble trying to figure out what I wanted to rate it because it didn't quite feel like 4 stars, just for like one specific kind of reason, which is how characters react to things or say things. It kind of feels like some parts were like edited out, which like makes sense. You gotta edit stuff out, right? But like dots aren't fully connected, and so I don't fully connect them in my brain, right? And so like it's like sometimes a thing I recognize I do in my own writing. So it wasn't like that big of a deal. But because of that, I couldn't fully give it 4 stars, but like 3.5 didn't feel like enough. So for the second time ever, I'm giving something in the quarter star range, which is 3.75. I feel like the only other time I've done this is also in a weekend reading vlog, and I think that was a 2.75. So lovely. But yeah, it was a good time. I liked the magic system and the politics of the magic system and the romance between Eric and Aaliyah. I do know her name's pronounced Aaliyah now for sure. Thanks to the audiobook. And listen, I already talked a bunch about their romance and how I think they're good for each other, and like I stand by that. I really get their romance. Really like it. Listen, there were a few lines from Eric's point of view that like I was like, okay, I think I highlighted a few. It was a good time. Right? Now here's the thing. I don't know when the second book's coming out. I in all the promotion stuff on DM Leary's Instagram, I haven't seen like when the book comes out, right? But it just says coming soon. But there's like the fan art that I've already popped up on screen because I did re-find it of the throuple, or I think she labels it as poly relationship in her promotion stuff on her Instagram. And so, listen, I may have gone on her website. I may have done some sleuthing, because on her website she also has a bunch of fan art on there, specifically like of each of the main characters, which was like really nice because I liked seeing how these characters look, especially Roman. I don't know what I expect him to look like, but like, yes. Listen, I don't even like the character of Roman. I just like the voice actor, okay? I don't... Okay. But in the fan art, you could clearly tell that the second man is a blonde man, right? And the fan art, there's only one blonde man. Or like the fan art, the art on her website, there's only one blonde man of the main characters, which is the werewolf guy, Kane. And I wouldn't be mad about it. I'm just saying, like, the way that the book ended, but also, like, he seems like a caring guy who, like, understands her, a little bit, like, and I trust him based off things that happened in this book. So, like, I won't be mad. So that's my theory on who the throuple poly relationship is with, the third person. I'm crazy. That's the moral of the story. The only other thing I had a real issue with was the end fight scene, which, like, is not a new thing. I usually have issues with end fight scenes in, like, almost every book ever, especially fantasy books. Like, even Iron Widow and Legendborn, which are, like, 2 of my favorite books ever, had similar issues, so it doesn't, like, bring down my rating or anything. But my favorite part is, like, by that point, I think I was half asleep, or I blacked out or something, because next thing, like, they were going in to rescue people, and the next thing I know, one of the people was yelling about how they were forced to kill another character, and I was like, I'm sorry, what did I miss? And I am 100% blaming it on me. I'm gonna have to go back and reread that section real quick, because, like, What was that? What was that? Um, you know, I want to know who died. I have a theory on who they killed, but like, it's kind of important for me to know who died, right? Right? Um, but yeah, that's VOC. It's really good. I recommend it. Especially via audiobook. The narrators all did a great job. I mean, even Eric and Lucian's narrators, spectacular. Okay. And yeah, 3.75 stars. I'm gonna head out. So that's this vlog, I guess, really quick update. Which is fine because I think this one being quick, it'll still be around the half-hour range. Linked above in the cards is all the other weekend reading vlogs. I'm contemplating making a separate one for just TBR jar editions, so stay tuned for that possibility. Again, next Wednesday is Read With Me, and then next Saturday will be the three book vlog for the month. So yeah, I think that's everything. All social media linked below, including the podcast. And yeah, that's it. So until next time.